All right, welcome back. Division D, D1, D2. It is Calling The Audible.
Mo, this is the craziest week. There's been all the games are decided by 3 points or less
amazing.
in Division
Wow.
D1.
Wow. Wild stuff.
My
Fuck,
dude!
man.
Wild stuff.
Such a dick move.
Thriller.
I hate everything you stand for. I hate everything you stand
This
for.
coming from the worst scorekeeper.
First off,
who
I'm the best
disrespected
scorekeeper.
Pease's mother.
I did not. I congratulated his father
Yo,
and then
poll
his
results,
mother.
please.
19
No, fuck
people
that shit.
think you're a terrible
19
scorekeeper.
people are
and,
full of shit.
and only 14 people think you're a gentleman.
19 people are full of shit.
Democracy
No,
rules.
No, fuck that shit.
Listen,
You're in a
that
death.
was sensitive.
When
Yeah,
has
no.
democracy ever failed us?
Well, I don't know. That's
Sensitive.
Russia or
Sensitive.
North Korea.
Sensitive. Fake
No.
news, huh?
Huh?
Fake news.
This
huh?
is the only job I have. Okay, I can't lose it, guy. All right.
All right, here we go. So let's talk about Division D1. And as Stefano put it very nicely,
I said it.
a lot of
Debatable.
single-digit
He's like stealing my
victories
fucking
here.
thunder.
2 points, 3 points, 1 point, and 2 points here. Bergang taking out Team Ethnic.
All of them less than 3.
Yeah.
Wow, good
Bergang-
math, dick.
Bergang beating on Team Ethnic, and this was a game that I saw. And
Isn't your best friend in this game there, Mo?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Your best friend.
Who's my best friend?
Your best friend. Tugboat?
Tugboat. Yeah. I forgot about Tugboat.
Come on, he's your best friend. How do you forget
You know
about
what?
him?
Okay, here's the thing though about Bergang. They were up by 2 scores going into the second half. They were coasting, and Team Ethnic came back. Anthony Lazaro had 2 bad INTs, and you can sort of see Lazaro, right? You know, he's very passionate about it, and you can sort of see he went from a smile to like, oh my god, a little bit worried.
Yeah, that's
But
how they were in week 10.
But you know what? They made a stop on the 2-point convert, and they ran out the plays, and they won the game by 2 points. A big win for Bergang. I love their defense. They have some athletes, some deceptive, quick athletes,
Man,
including
AJ goes in
Tugboats.
absolutely nothing.
And they made things difficult for Ben Lawler in that Team Ethnic roster.
Which is rare because Ben Lawler usually has this whole season, he hasn't had trouble scoring more than 35 points.
He had trouble in the first half.
Yeah.
Well, but this is a team full of guys who've played at least Division 3.
Oh, yeah.
So that knowledge alone makes them dangerous. And Team Ethnic haven't stopped anyone all season.
That's also true.
So
They depend on their offense, which almost tied the game, but once it
you
was
know
stopped,
what?
it went down.
Ben Lawler could have easily thrown 6 INTs.
Oh, yeah? There was a lot of dropped interceptions,
Yeah,
I was saying.
they had a lot of drops.
How many did Tugboat have?
Tugboat had none.
Wow. You were just
Surprised.
loving
But
him
no,
right
they
now.
had some drops. They could have been easy pick sixes.
Okay, I believe it.
And this could have been like a 45-26 final, but it wasn't the case. But I think this is a good, humble win for Bergang to know that it won't be an easy ride for them.
No.
Team Ethnic, look, a dead of a loss for them, but you know what?
I have a feeling Bird Gang doesn't see it that way. Like they're the type of guys who are like, yeah, and we should have crushed them. And next time we would have crushed them. That's the kind of
For
response
sure.
they'll have to that game.
So Hurricane Season beat Unknown Town 27-24. It came down to Hail Mary Town by the Unknown Town. They almost had it though, but Hurricane Season, I picked them to win. That's the game I remember because they were very proud of me. Quasi Gordon Mall was a little bit late. He came in, and Quasi is like a Lamar Jackson. He just buys himself time.
That's the second time you referred to someone as Lamar Jackson. Get
Exactly.
your shit together, Mo.
But you know what? The Unknown Town, for whatever reason, decided to go with the prevent defense inside.
Why
the
couldn't he
red
be
zone.
Josh Allen?
He's not big enough like Josh Allen.
Why couldn't it be RG3?
He's better than RG3.
Ooh.
He's better than RG3.
Oh, wow.
Why couldn't he be Doug Flutie?
He's better than Doug Flutie.
Why can't he be Mike
He's not
Vick
better than an NFL
pre-2008?
quarterback.
He's like
Sorry.
Jordan Hamilton. All right, so look, for whatever reason, Unknown Town went with a base defense and they played off.
But they usually do. That's their defense.
They do, though.
Quasi had a lane and he scored with a toe tap, run into the end zone for a touchdown on the front goal line, and that was it. It was like, wow, you guys could have had them on the ropes, and they bleaked it up. They allowed them to convert third down multiple times. In Hurricane Season, I mean, you guys call them out for whatever they want. They've called out teams in this whole division, but they came up with the big play in that second half, and they made things difficult for Arizona, who was good throwing the touchdown, but couldn't really get the deep ball as involved as you wanted to.
I see 2 touchdown passes. Where did the other scores come from? On running, I assume?
Yeah.
That Quasi had rushing touchdowns?
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. On the
Yeah,
run.
you see, that's the issue. I knew that would be a problem for Unknown Talent because Quasi is ridiculous when he always scrambles behind the line of scrimmage. And honestly, he gets people tired. And then after once he's just going like 24/7. It's like he had a 5-hour energy shot. You know, that's how Kwesi plays every game. You know, he's never tired. He only takes breaks if he feels bad for other players not playing.
24/7, 5 hours at a time.
Yes. And that had how much?
So you're saying a 5-hour burst he has.
5-hour burst. Like, that's what it is. You know, there's max 3 games. There's 3 hours. That's why he goes with 5-hour energy.
But he can do that 24 hours.
Yes. He does it
7
4
days a week.
times.
So you can do 5 hours.
And he doesn't
24
finish the bottle of 5-hour energy. He finishes
5 hours
4/5
at a
of
time. It works all of the time.
it. Yes, exactly. You see?
Got
That
it.
is what it is. 25. Best thing. That's math.
25.
25.
Now we're just saying random numbers.
25. 5 times 5 is 25. Math. Because Eagle loves math. And Eagle's being very useless in this podcast. So that's why I'm trying.
25 is 1,225.
Yeah, nobody could hear what you just said. So, all right.
What?
I don't know. He said 25 times 25 is 1,225 or something
No,
like
it's 625. It's half
that.
an
Make
hour.
up your shit, guy.
He could be
All right.
shit.
Super
So,
Saiyans. Sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, Unknown Talent just couldn't. We're going back to that game. I know you mentioned the other, but I wasn't done. All right, since you cut me off like usual, I feel like it's just making my
Yeah,
exit.
you were rambling
You're
about
making
hours.
my exit easier from this company. All right.
All you were doing was
I was
randomly
naming
saying amounts
5.
of time.
5 is the best
1
time.
week, 6 days.
Yeah, 7
4
days.
vacations, a
I
fortnight.
need a vacation, to be
And there
honest.
was 5 1-point victories. How
That-
awesome was that?
All right. So yeah, so
An
Super
observation by
Saiyans,
me.
I am surprised they only won by 1 point.
Why?
Because, like I said week prior, I didn't think that the random white guys defense was
Random
gonna
white
be.
dudes.
Well, I'm gonna go with guys because dudes is American, and we're in Canada.
But their team name is Dudes.
Also, it's not American. They speak the same language as us.
No. Anyways, but yeah, I thought that Jordan Lard, knowing how Danny Demore. Playing against Danny Demore and knowing how he runs a defense because he's the head of the defense, he would be able to stop. He would be able to find holes, and he did. But I thought it would make it easier to.
Here's the thing
more
about Dan
point.
Demore. He almost had an acrobatic one-handed INT, like Odell Beckham style. Couldn't bring it in. But I thought they frustrated the Super Saiyans offense. Jordan Lard never got in
Yeah,
rhythm.
they easily get frustrated. It doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much, but they just played a really good mucky game. And the way that they kind of put this offense, and like Jared Gallant had an okay game, but he wasn't his dominant self. I felt like he got into that war, trash talk war of going back and forth with them.
That he thinks he's better than everybody else.
Yeah, he got OC for it. And the thing is, I thought that took him off his game. I know he prides himself on that type of element, but in this context, it didn't work for him. And he could have been a lot more dominant than what he was. And those numbers that he had, 4 for 72 for 1 touchdown, should have been a lot higher than what he had at the end.
So basically, he should have made more plays.
Should have made
but
bigger
he
plays.
just didn't.
Like he's a
plays.
talent, man. He's
He
a
is. He
great
is
talent.
talented,
But I
yes,
just
for
thought
sure.
that he kind of underachieved enough.
I feel like he has the height advantage on everybody
Yeah,
on the
for
random
sure.
white dudes team too.
And,
So
and
all
the
you
thing
gotta-
is, like, as someone who's even coached Jared Gallant, I can say he's actually a really good dude. But he has an ego when he steps on the field, and
yeah,
it kind
a
of.
lot of people. Like
But it kind of is what fuels him. It's not in a negative way. Typically, it's that's the thing that propels him above other guys. But the guys that run white dudes, they're the guys who will chirp back, and it can get you into trouble. And it's just not worth it in a playoff game. Just go out there and be dominant. I think that's something that's going to come with experience and with age for him. Like, because I mean, can Jared Gallant even go to a bar yet?
I think I have Scotch at home older than he is.
I know I have Scotch older than he is. I have Scotch at home older than you are, so that's
Probably true. That makes
How's
sense.
that taste, by the way? Like,
excellent.
Like old Scotch.
but what's the taste? Like, I don't know. I don't drink.
Depends.
It's hard
you
to
can
describe
have-
the taste.
You can have Scotch that's smokier, that's peatier, that has more of a caramel taste. It really depends on the type of Scotch. where
What's your
it's
favorite
made.
one? Smoke here.
Sorry,
Smoke here.
I like it a little peaty. I don't like it too smoky. Eagle,
Yeah, same here. I also like the smooth and like
velvety,
just-
like
yeah,
McCullen
exactly.
kind
Like the
McCullen.
apricot type of flavor.
of. Yeah,
Apricot.
depends on sort of how weather affects the barrels and so on and so forth.
Fair enough, then.
Best
Son-
Scotch. What is it?
I'll bring you a bottle next week.
Best Scotch.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
I'm kind of partial to Lagavulin and McAllen.
Yeah, McCallum.
McAllen 12 and 18.
Yeah.
Centaurs winning 26-24 of LLB, a very physical game. LLB not happy with the lack of calls, not going their way. This was a game that I really thought was high competitive. Corey Johnson, unfortunately, the play that he can look back on that probably cost him the game was late in the first half. I think it was the last play of the first half. Cross line scrimmage, threw a touchdown pass, and that was the difference in why they lost and won this football game. Frank Delorier had an okay game, but I look at this Jordan Rossi offense. he played well, but you can see he was frustrated because as smart as they are, LOB, their defense, they were in the right positions at the right time to make a play and really minimize any big plays from this Centaur offense here. Hugo Alamano wasn't as effective, but their defense was great. They really put bunkered down and really made things difficult for Corey
I
Johnson.
believe I said this last week that it was two teams that were kind of the same. Their top players are immensely talented, but they're not teams that have a ton of speed. And Centaurs, the thing that's hurt them a lot when they've lost games is that they can't keep up with some of the quicker teams. LOB has struggled with that somewhat. And so this was the opposite kind of game where it was just both quarterbacks being very efficient. Smart play by Jordan Rossi, smart play by Corey Johnson. Just both quarterbacks did what they need to do to win the game, and someone had to win it, and happened to be Centaurs. I could easily have seen this game go 26-24 LOB.
Right. Underducks against Renegades. 28-18 win by the Underducks against Renegades.
These are the Underducks that we know showing up in playoffs.
Yeah.
Honestly, that Underducks team, man, they were the team that was. We weren't really sure what we would get out of them, right? We weren't sure how Matt Damon would play,
Right.
and we thought that the Renegades would have an edge on them. But honestly, you can never count these people out in the playoffs. Honestly, they just. When it's time, when push comes to shove, let's just say, I'm going to use a very cliche saying because that's what I'm about. And Matthew Damon, he has this feature that when the game is supposed to be high stress, like high pressure situations, he has this way of calming things down and not making like the pressure situations get to him. And that's what we saw here. And he made smart plays, spread the ball well. His completion rate was pretty decent. He played a very good game, and they came out with the win.
So you beat ECW 33-32, close one. We thought this would be the closest game out of the four in this bracket over here. The U, once again, showing their experience, their championship experience.
Every goddamn time I pick against them, I swear to God.
I picked them to win. I know I had this game.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not allowed to pick them to win now.
Yeah, Eagle, like really, man. I think I went 4 for 4 in this side of the bracket here.
You
for
always
Division
think
D2.
that.
Okay.
Well, Eagle's not keeping up with his wager.
Eagle. He's snorting on some sugar from the.
I mean, the whole
donuts
point
you
of
got
doing
in
this,
front of
Eagle, is to create content for the show. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly.
And
I'm
he
aware.
has not done
All
that
right.
because
Of
he's had a
course.
busy
I think this
week.
is his mindset for Roadshow, like in 3 weeks. He's gonna be this. Eagle, we're playing. Okay.
I'll always remember when Eagle
Oh,
thought
no.
I had the wrong score.
It's going to be worse than that, actually.
Not because
Why?
it's just Eagle. Rob's not there.
Someone's not around.
Oh,
so
that's true.
The chaos begins.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So who really assumes power then? This is sort of like one of those dictators that gets overthrown. So who takes over
No,
the
it's
power?
it's
We're
worse
like-
than that. What happens is it's a consortium of 3 or 4 of us, and then decisions have trouble getting made because people know they can go to me, and they can go to Mokan, and they can go to GM,
I'm
and
part of
they
this
can,
whole
and they can
group.
go
I'm
to
a part of
Eagle,
this process
and
of
hopefully
decision-making.
someone tells them the thing they want to hear.
Oh,
so you go back and
God,
say,
man.
but
I gotta
Eagle
make
said,
decisions.
but Simone said, but Peeze said, but Mo said.
Look,
It's
gotta
gotten
do
to
the
the point
It's
where we literally
the
tell
worst.
people, I'm going to check with everyone
Yes,
else before I
exactly.
give you an answer.
All right. So the U against ECW.
Lest we forget Laundrygate.
Yeah.
The U is ECW. It's the U being the U, man. Like, what else is there? I don't know. I don't understand how the ECW ever loses a game. So I don't have an explanation for this. Seal Levine goes nuts.
Well, I keep asking Jeremy what the hell is happening, and he just keeps saying my defense can't stop shit.
Yeah, but like you
Well, that's
also
been the
like,
problem though this year.
But look, they made an
but
interception.
you also only scored 6 points in the second half. So chill, Jeremy White.
Yeah, Jeremy White.
Maybe shut the hell up and score some points.
Yeah,
They only
I
gave
got your shit
13
together,
though.
Jeremy.
But that's been their problem. This, and I agree with Jeremy White. Their defense has not been great. They've given
They
up a
put
lot
up
of
30
yards
points
after
a game.
catch.
Yeah, but they scored 6 points in the second half.
Yeah, but like they only gave up 13. It's not like 13 is a big number in the second half.
But you know what it's more than? 6.
Good math. Look at that. Who needs schooling when we have FPF podcasts for math?
You score 4 times in the first half and once in the second.
Now,
That's not gonna
now
win you
Eagles
games.
getting a bit too technical for our audience.
Oh,
What'd you
thanks,
say?
Eagle.
4 times in the first half?
Yeah.
And once in the second half?
Yeah.
All right, fair. Good math. And, the U, in the season they struggled. We know that. They figured out their game towards the end, which was what they needed.
Right.
And then when it comes to playoffs, Evan Frank turns on a switch, and then he's just like, all right, let's just go.
But it doesn't even look like he's doing anything different.
It
There's
doesn't.
The
It's
things,
just he-
the
he-
things he
he-
was
he-
doing that weren't working start working.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think you're
That's
Evan
it.
Frank hater, man.
That's all it is.
Put it on a poll. Is PZ Delarizzi Evan Frank hater? Yes or no?
I mean, I don't know. I like the guy, but no, I just like there's some guys who just they look completely different in the playoffs. Evan Frank just looks the same except for like the 4 passes he didn't complete in the regular season get completed and they win the game. And this game is random, so let's stop pretending. Like it is what it is. Like they're always like 3 or 4 bounces from winning a game in the regular season. In the playoffs, for some reason, they make those plays and that's it. That's the difference. It's the dumbest analysis, but that's what happens. I've been watching for years. Every time I don't think it's going to happen, I figure it's going to catch up to them eventually. It's not going to. I should pick the U. I never do, and that's what happens.
Pick the U and they'll lose.
Voyous wins.
That's what I'm doing this week. The hell with you, Evan. I hate you.
Wow, so no, you were right. We didn't need a poll question for
No,
that.
we didn't.
We didn't need a poll question for his Peeze a hater for Evan Frank.
Voyous wins 37-20 over OGs. Any surprised by that?
Thank
No,
God.
No,
I'm not.
Fair enough then. Ballz deep, beating up on Dream Chasers 30-28.
Okay.
This was a fun game because this went to overtime. And I look at these two quarterbacks in Weir and McMahon. This could be the next generation of quarterbacks by the size that they have, but it was crazy. In overtime, it was no pass rush. Like they were like the rushers were saying, "Hey, throw the football. We dare you to because we know if we take one step, you're going to beat us for the extra point conversion."
I don't understand these stat lines. How do you only have 10 completions on 14 attempts?
Dude, it was crazy.
What is going on?
The overtime took almost like 20 minutes long. That's how long it was, man.
Well, that's not answering my question, but all right.
That's just
Appreciate
what
it,
Mo
Mo.
wants to talk about.
Mo does not care for anybody
Because
else's
I didn't watch the game
inquiries.
until the overtime.
All right, fair enough.
But
But yeah, like honestly,
So the hell with the question you asked.
look at this. Justin Weir has double the amount of Benjamin McMahon has. How? And they won by 2 points. Double.
Well, but I
I'll
mean,
never understand.
the yardage and touchdowns are the same as how.
Yeah, but like, that's what I'm saying. How can you have 21 completions and 27 yards for 27 attempts,
But so
and then 10 for 14? So basically, Benjamin was
They
going
ran
deep, it
60
was
more
working,
plays
and
on
Justin Weir was
offense.
going conservative, short
they ran
routes.
60 more passing plays on offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous, man.
Anyway, Justin Weir,
Crazy.
he's a fun quarterback. Exciting. One of my favorites. in
both
this
of these guys are two of the most fun quarterbacks to watch
Yeah,
in
man.
the division.
And I felt bad, they had to be losing this football game, but they went for 2-point converts. That's what it was.
Yeah.
2-point converts, and they hit on the balls deep, and they were their reaction after they won the football game was like as if they won the SEC. It was crazy. It was unreal. Fun
Why
game.
the SEC?
I don't know. That's all I can think of.
Why not the Grey Cup?
Yeah.
Canada.
Okay. Do you think any one of these
Canada.
guys know what the Grey Cup is all about?
I don't know what it's all about.
I feel like Ryan Dobbs-Garnett wants to be a Grey Cup MVP.
Yeah.
So Mo, I have a question.
with Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
So don't worry, no one from Bell Media is watching. How many Grey Cups have you watched in your lifetime?
I have
Start to finish.
watched.
Like watch like you watch the Super Bowl.
He's watched 104.
No, I've been to 3.
Ooh.
Hold on. No, I've been to 4.
That's
a
more than
weird
you can say
flex.
about the NFL.
Hold on here. I've been to 3. I covered 3, and I went to 1. So I went 1 as a fan and 3 as a.
But how many have you watched? So like, have you ever watched them on TV?
I do. I will watch a good chunk of it.
But let's say you've been alive for
80%.
what, 32 years?
Yeah, I say I watched about 80% of the Grey Cup.
So okay, but how many have you watched? This is my question.
Mo
Since
cannot answer questions
91.
directly.
So let's say 26, 27
All right.
odd Grey Cup.
How many have you watched in your lifetime?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know, like 6?
Eagle?
Yeah, 6 to 10.
Really? Am I the only one who's never seen a Grey Cup?
Yes.
Yeah, keep it like that, man. Streak
When
continues.
Calvillo was
Did you
in them,
never
I'd
watch
them
when the
religiously,
Alouettes were
but-
actually
No.
good?
Yeah.
No.
Hater.
It's
I
just
just-
unfortunate.
Just move to the States, guy.
No, I find
Move to
I have
Savannah.
immense respect for the athletes who play the game. I find the game unappealing, just visually.
You're right. No, you're right. It's not a fun game. It's sore in the eyes, but if you were to look, I know we're going off course again, but
Really?
but if you quickly, if
okay.
you go and watch like
People
the,
respect us for it.
like the old school quarterbacks, the Warren Moons and stuff, and Doug Flutie's.
See,
it was
like-
fun to watch.
Let's see, what
man.
do
It was-
Warren Moon and Doug Flutie have in common?
They play in the NFL.
There you go. So why would you mention
That's
that?
what
None of
Jeff
these
Garcia,
guys.
but that's what I'm
Bo
saying, though.
Levi Mitchell had a
I know, but
tryout.
I'm saying though that
I don't know what
and
Jacksonville.
to correlate to these guys
It
here,
was
right?
Jacksonville, no?
I don't know where he is now. He's back in Calgary. But
No, I know he's in Calgary, but his trial was with Jacksonville, I
Minnesota.
think. Before
But
Minnesota. All right. One of those
that
stupid teams.
era of football was fun to watch because those were NFL caliber quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
And
now
I'm
they're
watching
not
these
NFL.
guys, and to bring it to these guys, you're Weir and McMahon, because you got to
Transition.
over here.
Fantastic.
These two guys could be the next wave of smaller size quarterbacks that.
But do
can
you
win
think
it
they would be able to throw in, let's say, Division 2?
Well,
with
how,
more experience?
how many
yes.
times? How many times do we say, "Do you think Joey Taylor's system will actually work in Division 2?" And
Well-
it's getting there.
Well,
No,
hold on,
but
hold on. What about Sean
Joey
Abram?
Taylor doesn't play like these two.
Well, I mean,
But-
we'll get to Sean Abram in a
What
second.
about Sean Abram though?
We'll
trying to
get to
bark
Sean
on-
Abram in a second.
barking on me, and then I barked at him, and he
Because
got
you're
real-
hating, Mo.
How about he on Sean Abram?
Also,
don't
I
know.
didn't understand what the hell he was trying to say. We'll get to Sean Abram
Yeah.
when we get to Division
Are you going to
B.
put up the thread, Eagle, when we get to Sean Abram? Because I have no idea
Sure.
what they're talking about. Fantastic.
I have no idea what.
I just
he
know there was a
trying to
Facebook
say.
back and forth, and,
Yeah,
and
why?
Mo has this weird way of not accepting friend requests on Facebook. Completely irrelevant. But
Anyway.
just a random fact.
Let's get to
I'm
the,
more confused than I've ever been.
Random
All right,
fact.
let's get
Maybe
to
that's
the,
what Sean
playoff.
Abram was mad about.
Probably. Let's get to the playoff previews, guy. Finessers against Underducks. I say
wow.
trap game for Finessers. I think Underducks.
No, this is a bad matchup for
this is
Finesse.
an awful matchup.
This
for
is a
Fin-
bad matchup.
This is
for
not what they
Finesse.
wanted. This
Not
is
at
not
all.
a matchup here. I think Ryan Karoof is due for another one and done effort.
Yeah, this is not doing them any favors.
No.
Underducks are probably like the nightmare face nightmare face off that they could have.
Nightmare
in this.
face.
Nightmare face Underduck. Wow, the jersey has a face.
Which
on it, so
90s? Okay, Eagle, put this in the poll. Which 90s horror villain do you consider to be the nightmare face? And then list a whole bunch of
Did you say horror villain?
yeah,
Is that an actual term?
like the villain from a horror movie.
Ah, horror. I heard horror. I was like, all right then.
I mean, maybe
Maybe.
some of us need to be more woke.
Well,
Can't
you know what? You said
can't
90s.
mention
I
that
was born in
2019.
95, guy. So I don't know.
Um,
Maybe it's before my time.
So yeah, yeah, just and then fill it with like the different
Am I
popular
really
villains.
burning the poll question on this?
What do you mean
No,
burning? It's the greatest.
absolutely
It's the
not.
best question we've asked so far.
First off, the best question.
Who is
was,
Nightmare
should I not be
Face?
fired?
Who is Nightmare Face?
Nightmare Face.
So the thing is, where Finessers have the advantage over Underducks is who on Underducks can keep up with Alex Bacalani and Nero Suresh.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they won't keep up with them. But can Ryan Karoof get them the football?
Yes. Next question.
But look at his playoff performances.
Okay, but that doesn't matter. That's
I
irrelevant.
don't trust him as a playoff quarterback.
Okay, but like, so what you're saying is, previously when he had less experience, he's equivalent to when he gets more experience. Yes or no?
He isn't. He's a solid regular season quarterback, but he's not a playoff guy.
But that doesn't make sense because you're only basing it on the past when he had less postseason experience. So in theory, he's played more postseason games now than he did last season. So therefore, he knows more now than he did in previous seasons.
But I don't trust him as a quarterback.
So if a guy wins one time and then loses every other year, you'll say I trust him because he won a championship.
not necessarily.
Absolutely. When's the
Necessarily.
last time you said I don't trust a championship level quarterback after they won a championship?
How many quarterbacks have won a championship? Kevin Wyeth? I don't trust Kevin Wyeth.
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't
I'm
trust
saying.
him. I
You're not
don't
gonna
trust
say it
Kevin
about
Wyeth.
Kevin White. You're not going to say it about Alex
I don't
Hall.
trust
You're not
Kevin
going to say it about who in this division's won.
But I don't. I just think the Underducks can pull the rug on these guys. They
Look,
really-
Underducks are good. I just think that where they struggle is speed, and Finessers have a lot of speed, and I don't think that Ryan Karoof needs to even do that much. I feel like this is a game where Alex Bacalani has like 9 catches for 3 touchdowns.
You sure it's going to be
We're
Alex
gonna lose
Bacalani?
the
Because
cause.
Niraj has been overshadowing him
Yeah,
this season.
I know, but they can't take away both. So I feel like this is
Yeah,
his
but I
game.
feel like they'll take Alex Bacalani and forget that Niraj
Maybe,
exists.
honestly,
For
I
some
don't-
reason,
but to be honest, I don't- I don't think they
teams
can
don't
stop
know
either
that
one.
Niraj is amazing.
I'm sorry.
People don't know that Niraj is a fantastic receiver.
Yeah,
They just
he's
leave him open.
absolutely.
I don't understand it. I see games of Finessers. This guy's wide open. Like, what are you doing? The guy's burning everybody. That's okay. Let's let him go. He's gonna drop it. Yeah, okay.
All right,
luck
infantry
with it.
balls deep.
This is
That's a good game.
interesting.
This is a.
I don't know, man. It's hard to imagine Infantry losing.
Yeah, Infantry's team is too stacked.
Their defense is ridiculous,
Yeah,
and Justin Weir's.
Justin Weir is gonna struggle against that defense.
Yeah,
they just
it's
have
not
too
gonna be
many.
easy.
They have too many great defensive backs in that defense.
Justin
and-
Weir's lack of size is going to hurt him
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
very
hard to
much.
see over the tall defenders on Infantry.
Long arms.
Um,
yeah, length on that team.
Infantry cut. What they do really well is when you're trying to play conservative and short, they use sort of those long arms to like cover gaps, cover in between receivers. So say like you run like 2 short hooks on one side. They have literally, a guy like Rory Samarjan can just sort of stand between both
yeah.
receivers and take away both. So it's Infantry pose a unique set of difficulties. I'm actually looking for if I'd jump ahead a week if I could. I would love to see Infantry against Les Voyous because that to me would be a greater challenge. Ballz Deep I think are going to struggle a lot in this game.
So here's
Yeah,
a game that
I think their offense will not be.
you don't think so?
I think the Ballz Deep offense is just going to no-show against that Infantry defense, unfortunately.
Buffalo Wild Wings, the U. I think another bad matchup for the Buffalo Wild Wings. I
Yeah,
think the U
yeah.
got
Well,
Buffalo
we
themselves.
saw
Wild Wings, yeah.
last week Eagle revealed Buffalo Wild Wings were false kings, right?
Yeah.
So they had an easy schedule. That's why they're up there.
And
But the U are by far a better team.
I think the U is they just matchups across the board, quarterback play, receiver, defensive schemes that they run is just far superior.
Yeah, they've just been in this league so long. They just know what it takes. They could read offenses. They've seen every type of offense, I believe, that you would see in this kind of division. They've seen it. They've been in this type of division for seasons and seasons. So their defense.
But so have a lot of Buffalo Wild Wings. They didn't always play together.
I know, but see, they're gonna see Tristan Ronaldo. Maybe he's young. He's young. You know, he might struggle against a team that, because we know Tristan to be a guy that for some reason creates way too many turnovers. So I feel like this is gonna be a game that turnovers. It won't be forced, but he's gonna be coerced in it because of the way that the U could disguise their defense, and it's just a bad matchup.
I don't even think they disguise it though. The problem is
that the way they play,
the U take the top off. They don't let you take big strikes.
And Tristan likes
and then
going deep.
they're so efficient on offense. And Eagle, well, you saw like the low division of this with Mambo and Division E. What they do is they let you not let you score, but they'll score, and then you're gonna run your offense and score, and then they'll score again, and then once they get a turnover, you're like, oh man, we're down. We need to do something against them. We need to make our plays here. We're running out of time, and that's where they just choke you out. It's look, all the credit to them in the world, but it's really frustrating when you're an opposing team.
Baby Sharks, Les Voyous.
This is a good game.
That is a good game.
This is a good game. You can like remove 2 and 3 from there because even if they would have been the two like lower ranked teams, it wouldn't have mattered. Both these teams are remarkably talented. What I love about Baby Sharks is so we know Marc-Antoine Chaput, 14 touchdowns, awesome. But then Felix Antoine Lavigne had 7, Olivier Turcotte had 6. Like they have 5 players with at least 6 touchdowns on the team.
That's the receiving core.
That's awesome.
That's the receiving core. Every receiver gets his fair.
Well, no, because they have like a guy like Alexandre Portelot. Like they do seem to rotate a little.
I know, but like the main guys on their offense are the guys that all have over 6 touchdowns.
But the thing is, it's so rare to see that, especially when you have one guy putting up, let's say, 14 touchdowns, which is a very solid season. Oh, there we go.
Did you not see the setup, guy?
I was the one talking, so I couldn't hear it in my headset.
Okay, fair. But then you heard noises.
Yeah. I was very confused. I thought that was in my head.
That's not good. This is Mo's favorite song.
But we've been talking about Les Voyous, and they've been kind of
so I'm out.
What's that? What'd you say, Peeze?
Les Voyous have been kind of our crush all season long.
Yeah.
But Baby Sharks kind of been the same. Very athletic, great team all around. They make insane plays. It's gonna be fun. This is the game to watch this weekend in all divisions.
There was a time in this season that we thought that Voyous would be first in this division, right?
I thought they would be.
They would be, but then after they hit their snag, they kind of struggled a bit towards like maybe mid-season, and then after they picked up again. So I feel like they picked up at the right time. Baby Sharks started slow, and then they've been going better and better and better until they got the 2nd seed. But this is a great matchup. Honestly, like you said, Peeze, you could take off 2 and 3 because they're pretty even matchup.
I would say Nick Schaefer, he can be a nightmare face for teams.
Mm-hmm. Nightmare face.
All right.
Tell you, everything I say becomes a trend. I'm telling you. Everything.
Hashtag nightmare face.
Div D1, half stars against Hurricanes season. This is going to be a fun game.
Not if Andel Thomas Gordon rushes
he didn't play
against
last
Angelo
game.
Lambert.
Speaking of Andel, he sends me, after he won.
He didn't play
He was coaching in a basketball tournament, no?
No, he was there, but he didn't play.
After they beat
stuff?
Unknown Talent, he sends me a Facebook message, and he says, keys to beating the Half a Stars team. I'm like, well, there's 2 things that you have to do. One is take away a jump ball to Kevin Smoot.
Yeah.
And take away the deep game, because that's where Andrew Lambert, for some reason.
So the thing with Kevin Smoot is it's actually not impossible. It's just
no. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Now
I'm
that
saying it's hard,
team, because the thing is when
he
Kevin
just
Smoot
bodies
first
people
started, but when the league
Illuminati.
when he first came to the league, nobody kind of knew, and he doesn't look like he's a dominant athlete. So people kind of got bullied by him. But I feel like now people know, and so like there's
Taking the right angles.
They shove him
not
back.
that, but like
They push back.
nobody absorbs more contact these days than Kevin Smoot. Like
Right.
the guy gets legit
because they know
mugged.
that's the way
Yeah.
to make him drop a pass. And
But
he still
honestly,
makes
like
the catch.
the refs can legitimately call DPI on every red zone pass to Kevin Smuda now.
They could also call OPI because the way he bodies people
Yeah.
into getting that ball, like he just goes
Every time
up
the
there,
ball goes
maybe he
towards
throws
him,
up a
there's
shoulder.
a type of pass interference.
Some sort of contact happened.
But
all the time.
honestly, my suggestion would be, and I know he hates this, but Kwesi Gordon-Amal needs to rush Andrew Langbert because Andrew Langbert's entire game is based on buying time. And if you don't let
Kwesi
him buy
hates
time,
rushing,
that's where he'll make mistakes.
Crazy hates rushing.
I know, but he's elite.
Yeah, I know.
He's an elite
yeah.
FPF.
He's probably the guy on the Hurricane season team that could actually make Andrew Langbert like struggle with his game because usually when he scrambles Andrew Langbert,
That's his whole game.
That's his whole game. But now if you have a guy that could match up with him and get to him, and he doesn't have time to extend the play, it'll be tough for them. So there you go. And if you're listening,
Kwesi is the first rusher I played against as a snapper. That when I would snap the ball and I had to like run a slant under him, I went back to Fred Morissette and said, I can't get under him. Like it's not like he would be when I would snap the ball and turn, he would be in my face. I took two rushing interference plays.
Yeah.
Like that's how quick he is.
no, he's quick. Man.
Honestly,
Mo, what do you think his 40 time is?
Probably 4.6.
yeah, up 4.5, 4.6.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Pretty good.
Like that's the thing is like we see like guys in FPF and like that's insanely fast, and we can't even imagine how fast the guy who runs a 4.3 is.
Exactly.
You know, like because we don't even I don't even know if we have that. In
I
FPF.
don't think we do.
Sheriff against Super Saiyans. This is gonna be a good
That
game
is a
here.
good game.
I think
I
the
feel like
unique
that's gonna-
quarterbacks in this matchup here.
Elite.
Unique.
Oh, unique. Okay.
I say unique.
Yeah, I heard elite.
But did
they are.
the Sheriff have the bodies to match up with Super Saiyan's height?
They don't. The Sheriff.
Nobody does.
No. This is Super Saiyans are just like, I think they're the tallest team in the division. But as a Sheriff, they have those inside guys that if you don't undercut them, they'll always get the ball because Louis Bégin has this weird sidearm
I hate
throw,
it so much.
which is the weirdest thing to look at, but he sends it as like he wires it, and it's not even high. He can't throw it up because all his receivers are short, more or less. So he has to throw it in a
But
way
that's not his game. Like he's
Then-
not a guy who's gonna throw up sideline
because he
fades
doesn't
and-
have tall receivers. If he has tall receivers, let's say he had Jared Gallant on his team.
I don't think he would do it anyway. That's not
No,
what he
he'd-
wants
he'd
to do.
send him
Like the
deep,
team
though.
is built for
But
him.
he'd send
right?
him deep.
What?
He'd send him deep. This time he tries. He'd send him deep more, and he'd probably throw it higher. Than
I don't think you would. It's not. He's not a guy who throws up jump balls. Another guy who throws 50-50 balls. Louis
He's not a
Bégin.
power thrower.
Look, he's
No.
a guy I love to tease just because he's a fun dude. Like I like to tease fun somewhere.
I can't stand his throwing stand. It's weird.
It's awful.
but
It's awful.
he's
remarkably effective.
yeah, it's a disjointed throwing motion,
Yeah,
but he's
doesn't
not
make
a power thrower. He's not going to throw those 40 bombs sky high in the air and track
No,
it
I
down.
know.
And the thing is, every quarterback in FPF is better with a lead, but a quarterback like that needs the lead. Louis Bégin can't get behind in
No,
this game.
if he gets behind, they're done.
No, because he's not
Yeah.
that quarterback. He's
They
not
have
gonna
to
come
match
from
score for score.
But I think
They have
both
to match.
quarterbacks. This applies to both
Yeah, yeah,
quarterbacks.
yeah.
I think
They
Jordan
both
No, I
have-
disagree. I think
Jordan doesn't. Jordan.
He needs
like
the
if it's the
lead.
second half and Super Saiyans are down a score or two, they still have a chance in the game.
Two
Sheriff
no,
would
a
have
score,
absolutely
yes.
no chance.
But I wonder the temperament for Super Saiyans if that'll be a factor because they've taken some bad OCs.
Yeah, they do.
They've
They
taken it at the
take
worst
they
time
take it at the
possible.
worst
Yo,
time.
guys,
You're right.
chill. It's flag football.
No,
All right, Rive-Sud against Bergang.
that's a good game. That's a good
gonna,
game.
man. You talked about
Oh, man.
some OCs. That's gonna
You
be
got
a
the
trippy
tugboat
game.
against Mav.
The original tugboat.
So now he's not a tugboat. He is a what kind of boat is he?
When Mav
He's a ship.
when Mav
Ship.
gets the ball in his hands, it's that scene from Indiana Jones where the ball is rolling after Indiana Jones. It is the most terrifying thing.
It's a bowling ball of hell.
Yeah, but see, he's had to throw a couple games. Maybe
He-
he has to throw. Again.
He ran over me.
I believe that. I would
and-
run you over two Peeze.
Every time since he ran towards me, I just put out a hand. Like, I hope the flag just ends up in my hand because I'm not having this. I'm not getting run over. Marc-Antoine Vien is quicker than he looks. He's got incredible hands. He's a very, very good receiver. There are defenders you can pick on the Rive-Sud. And what they do is they sort of make the middle of their defense the strength, and they dare you to throw out the sideline. You guys, now we know, I think Lazara is going to be throwing because we saw AJ Gomes playing receiver last game.
He didn't have
Do-
much of an impact.
No,
He had
No,
one
well, he
catch.
had an
But-
interception.
But I
No,
think
I know, but on
Lazara,
offense, I'm saying he had one catch.
he's got to be smarter with the football though. Because
But will Anthony Lazara be able to make those deep sideline throws?
I don't know if he can because he tried to and they picked
Yeah,
him off last
they
week.
picked
Wait,
him
somebody.
up.
It's again. It's he doesn't have.
When I saw him try, he's
Experience-
always overthrown it.
Yeah.
He's thrown it just outside the end zone. It was too
Because the
far.
thing is, a lot of with a lot of
First off, it's a
inexperienced-
tough throw to make. Period.
Well, it is, but you can make it easier. So inexperienced FPF quarterbacks throw the deep sideline phase late. So a guy, let's say like Kevin Wyeth or Dan Lazara, can do that because they have rockets. If you're not that level athlete, what you need to do is make the read early and throw it up towards the sideline on the outside early and give your receiver a chance. Because if you throw it late, it's going to get picked off because the defender's already there. You have to throw it early ahead of your receiver, so your receiver's the
Yeah.
only guy who has the chance.
I like the break end defense though.
No, they did that.
Their defense is ridiculous. Their
They got
defense
a
is
really
great.
good defense. They can really
They have the advantage on defense in this game.
They have a quick rusher. They have a quick
Yeah.
rusher.
What's the dude's name?
Dernst.
Dernst,
Dernst.
that's
Yeah, Durance. He can get
Dernst.
not
Fred Durst.
not from the
His first name is Dernst. His last name is some hyphenated
Not
name.
Durst.
I don't know.
All right, Outlaws, Centaurs. Yeah, this is a team
Nah.
of brute force against an Outlaw team that can.
This is a bad
Dink and
matchup for no. Well, no, I disagree. So Stephen Harpersod has that reputation, but Stephen Harpersod will create matchups and will create isolations and will take shots if you can't defend it. And I think Centaurs are going to struggle
Why do you
against
think
Outlaws.
Mo's
I'm
laughing by
laughing
himself?
because I'm thinking of the classic late Buddy Ryan, former NFL head coach, when he was on the Bears '85 team. He called that offense, the chuck and duck offense.
Chuck and Duck.
So that's what Stephen Harpersod's offense is. It's chuck and duck, but it works.
Again, though, like, yes, because a lot of times that's what's there, and Stephen Harpersod doesn't force passes. But if he has matchups like I think he has in this game, he's gonna throw over the top, and Outlaws are gonna score a lot of points.
So who's bigger in this game, Blake Butler or Hugo Alamano? Butler did rush last week.
I like Butler a lot, man.
No, Butler is good. I like him too, but I feel like Hugo's he's gonna have to have a bigger impact on this game. He's gonna be the DB. But see, Stephen Harpersod's probably gonna see.
See, I would have Hugo Alamano rush because Stephen Harpersod's shorter, because he's a guy who relies on throwing into a window. You can automatically remove one of those windows on each play, and that can help limit the deep plays by Stephen Harpersod.
Yeah, but Stephen Harpersod doesn't really do deep plays.
He
The only time he goes deep,
that's not necessarily true. I know how he calls his offense.
but that's not his first read, is what I'm saying.
It actually the opposite. It is his first read, but he only throws it if it's open
Oh
immediately.
yeah, obviously.
So
Well, every time I see him play, he always goes middle field. He doesn't really go deep.
because he
Right.
doesn't always have
He
it.
goes-
But that's the thing is
that's
this
what I'm
is such a
saying.
bad matchup for Lace.
He doesn't have a rocket of an arm. Let's
No,
say
but he's accurate.
he is very accurate. That taking nothing away from that. I'm talking about his throwing power. It's not there. So that's why.
He doesn't need it, but that's
I
why
know.
that's why deep is his first read and not his last read. It's literally the exact thing I said about the opposite of. He's the opposite of Anthony Lazara and what he was doing last week. Is that's going to be the first thing. So if you can play conservative and take that away, and then rush Hugo Alamano to take away a window for him to attack sort of that intermediate middle, like you're talking about,
Right.
that's going to make it difficult for him. But if they leave him as a DB, he's just going to go away from him, and Hugo Alamano will have no impact on
Yeah,
him.
see what I think that they're gonna do. They're gonna send Blake, who's taller. They're gonna hope that he takes out the vision of Stephen Harpersod.
Wait,
Well,
is he taller than Hugo Alamano?
I think so.
Because Hugo Alamano is a giant.
They're both big, but I think Blake's a little bit bigger. He's
Yeah.
6'5", Blake. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's also.
I didn't realize he was that tall.
He's also
Yeah.
jacked.
Yeah,
So
it's
is
like-
that.
Yeah, I know.
former rugby player.
That part, yes.
Former rugby player. I know he's a
And-
personal trainer.
And NFL. Oh, not sorry. And college football player as well.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's now time for.
Games of the week.
Surprised still no poll question.
All
There.
right, yeah.
I mean, I had a good one about Nightmare Face.
You want to do D1 or
You
D2
said who
first?
Nightmare Face
Whatever you
was,
want,
and
Eagle.
I forgot who you said.
I said there's a poll question.
Yeah, but you
That
said
should be-
someone was Nightmare Face. and
No, I said
forgot
to
who you
list
said.
all the 90s horror.
Okay, but now
villains.
when we were going down names. you
Oh,
said-
that. I don't remember.
I
There we
forgot
go.
who you
All right, we have Half a Stars versus Hurricane Season. Moishan.
I go Hurricane season.
said. Ooh. Consider that an upset?
No.
No.
See, I actually think there's a path for. I think Hurricane Season is as good as Half a Stars. I don't know if Hurricane Season is going to do what it requires to beat Half a Stars, so give me Half a Stars.
Yeah, I think half the stars are going to take this game.
Mo, how long until Langbert texts you?
He's on my number. Thank God.
Facebook message.
Maybe. Okay, next.
The Sheriff versus Super Saiyans.
Peace.
Give me the lots of tall guys. Super Saiyans.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, I like Super Saiyan. First off, Mo, you cut me off. It's supposed to be Mo. Get with the get with
matter.
the rhythm, guy.
Yo, puff
Yeah.
that fast, bro.
You'd be really bad at poker.
Or smoking.
Oh, no, I'm pretty good at poker. Let's go. Next.
I'm pretty
Do
sure.
you
I don't know
understand how big blind and small blind?
I don't think he does.
I don't think most played poker in his
I
life.
have. Let's go. Next.
3-card poker.
Les Princes de la Rive-Sud versus Bird Gang.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm gonna sound biased, but I do think that Bird Gang are gonna win this game.
Yep, I agree.
I also go with Stefano's Paisans of the week in Bird Gang.
And Outlaws versus Les Centaures.
Outlaws.
It's not your turn.
It
That's
is.
never
Oh,
was.
actually, it was.
Come on, Ego. Now you're the Mocon who doesn't know what's going on.
I'm just so used to him getting it wrong.
That's true.
I'm gonna go Outlaws.
Yeah, Outlaws have the matchup on this game.
Why is
Next.
my forehead so shiny this week?
We're all
Maybe you're
sweaty.
sweating. I
Division
said it first.
D2, Finessers versus Underducks.
Is it me?
Yes,
Give me my boys the Finessers. I like this matchup for him.
I think Underducks are gonna win this game.
Yeah, Underducks.
The Infantry versus Ballz Deep.
I
Clean
think, I think the infantry are just too good for the Ballz deep team.
Yep.
Yeah, too much battalion for them.
Buffalo Wild Wings versus the U.
Mocon. Now
You.
you should step in. There you go.
Watch them lose.
Say
Fine,
it.
lose.
Say it.
Go
I-
for it.
I picked the U.
Okay, I picked the U too. If they lose, it's your fault though.
If they lose, they can thank me for all the previous championships.
And lastly, Baby Sharks versus Les Voyous.
Who is it?
That's you, Pete.
Oh, it's me.
Come on, yeah.
I want to pick Baby Shark so bad just because they're going to continue to annoy Mo, but I have to go Le Voyou.
Yeah, I think Le Voyou are not the matchup.
Make it a sweep. Magic words, please.
Rico charges.
Is that? Oh no! Is it? What's his face there?
You ruined it. No,
I forget who.
you still ruined it. Good night. Something that
Surviving. Good night, R. Kelly.
Oh, good night, R. Kelly. It's like, oh boy, who's he talking about?
Yeah, he's going away for long. Because he's a Rico.
Didn't he get charged right now?
No, yeah, he got charged for Rico.
I don't know what Rico is.
Rico is basically the same way you would charge mob bosses because he's the state is
Organized
claiming-
crime, yeah.
Yeah, that he
Organized crime.
he used the girls and others in his circle to recruit other girls for him to rape.
Ah, yeah.
So in that way, he was running sort of like
Allegedly.
a
So-
trial.
so
I
is-
don't like.
is-
We don't have sponsors. I
Is
don't have to
crying
allegedly
R.
anything.
Kelly gonna overtake crying Jordan?
I think he'll be overtaken in prison.
Nah, fair.